Coming up on Mountain News this morning, the Commonwealth continues to mourn Amber Spradlin 3 months after her death. And the Letcher County Fire and Rescue is getting ready for the next step in rebuilding part of their home.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, 6:30 on the money this morning. Brandon Robinson here. I almost said Chief Forecaster Brandon Robinson. I'm news anchor and Chief Forecaster this morning. Glad to have you along with us here, starting your day on this Monday. And we're looking at Monday, September the 18th. We got a foggy morning out there for you across the region. Let's take a look, and you'll see what's going on outside of our studios here in Hazard. Bit chilly out there, too. So maybe grab a light jacket or a sweater or something, bundle up this morning. Fog is not as bad here in town as it has been. But again, dense fog advisory continues until 9 for most of the region this morning. Trying to see if anybody else, nope, not yet. We're waiting on who's going to join the 40-degree club first. Irvin and Williamsburg are the leading contenders, both at 50, 51, London and Clintwood. Those are the next contenders there, 52 in Somerset and Jonesville, and then everybody else just a touch, and Wise too, and everybody else just a touch warmer there. So we'll see who drops first. A little extra on the coffee meter this morning. You're going to need that, and hot coffee at that. I needed a cup myself this morning. All I've got is caffeinated water. It's getting to that point. I have to switch back over to some coffee at some point. 12-hour planner, we're going to see temperatures climb into the mid-70s today, and that's because a cold front is still working its way through this morning. So 7 o'clock may not be our coldest part of the day, but the sun doesn't even come up until 7:17 and sets at 7:37. I'll have more on that forecast coming up here in just a few minutes. Back to news now. A Southern Kentucky man is facing charges this morning for his role in a stalking case. Deputies with the Wayne County Sheriff's Office arrested 19-year-old Tayshawn Bennett after learning he was reportedly stalking his ex-girlfriend at her job and harassing her and her co-workers. They found him walking on South Main Street in Monticello. He is charged with stalking and wanton endangerment. He was taken to the Wayne County Detention Center. One Harlan County man is also facing charges this morning after police say he drove his car into a house and took off this weekend. Troopers responded to a home in Wallens that was damaged early Sunday morning. No one was injured, but KSP does have a suspect in custody. 30-year-old Cody York of Wallens was arrested yesterday afternoon. York is charged with criminal mischief, leaving the scene of an accident, tampering with physical evidence, and driving without insurance. He's being held at the Harlan County Detention Center. Also in Harlan County, 2 people are facing charges following a shooting and a stabbing late last week. Kentucky State Police tell WYMT on Thursday they got a call about a break-in in Cumberland. Police say Robert Napier broke into Michael Fouch's home and attacked him with a baseball bat when Fouch discovered he was there. During the fight, 2 shots were fired, causing Fouch to stop and wait on law enforcement. Napier is charged with burglary and assault. He was accompanied by his mother, Earlene Napier, who police say fired the 2 gunshots. She is charged with wanton endangerment. Both shots were fired through the front door, with one bullet leaving a hole in the wall. The other hit her son Robert in the arm. Robert Napier and Michael Fouch were taken to UK Hospital. Fouch is in serious condition, while Napier was released and taken to the Fayette County Detention Center for his warrants out of Harlan County. You can find more information on these arrests on our website, WYMT.com. In Clay County, Kentucky State Police are investigating an attempted break-in that turned deadly. Police say Jason Smith was reportedly trying to break into a home in Manchester early Saturday morning. That's when the man in the home confronted him. A fight broke out and the man in the home shot Smith. KSP says Smith was flown to UK Hospital, where he later died. His body will be examined at the medical examiner's office in Louisville. Troopers say the case will be presented to a grand jury. More than 3 months have passed since Amber Spradlin was killed, and family members and supporters are continuing to advocate for justice. Family members and organizers hosted a silent auction and prayer vigil in honor of Spradlin on Sunday. They hope to raise money for a scholarship and a bench honoring her. Debbie Hall, who is Spradlin's cousin, says the support helps keep them moving forward.
It's been overwhelming, all the support and people who've reached out to us and people who continue to come out and show up and help out. It's just nice to know that there are good-hearted people out there who still care and who are not afraid to stand up for what's right.
The family has raised more than $2,000 in scholarship funds. Their first scholarship to a nearby college will be awarded in January. In December 2020, one Lexington family became the target of gun violence, leaving 8-year-old Malachi Roberts blind from a gunshot wound. Alyssa Williams takes us to the Many Miles for Malachi fundraiser in Lexington as community support continues to pour in.
It was nearly 3 years ago that 8-year-old Malachi Roberts' life changed forever.
Back in 2020, a few days before Christmas, someone shot into his house as he's getting ready for bed. Someone shot into his house and struck him in the head, in his temple. It was 2 centimeters from his brain, but it did leave him permanently blind for the rest of his life.
Although things haven't been easy for the Roberts family since, several Lexington community members have stepped up to offer their support to the young boy, including Lexington police officer Corey Doan.
When the incident happened with Malachi, it really hit me really hard. And I knew at some point I was going to do something special for Malachi. I didn't know at the time what it would be. And then about 2 years ago, it hit me.
Doan has been training for the Ironman race in Chattanooga, Tennessee for the last year, a 144.6-mile test of endurance, including swimming, biking, and running. He says his motivation is simple: Malachi's story of overcoming obstacles.
So I want to just, hopefully it inspires others that we can all do more. We're all usually very blessed with where we're at in life, and some people just need an extra lift. And if I can do that for Malachi and if I can inspire others, that'd be just warm my heart even more.
This Many Miles for Malachi fundraiser was created with one goal in mind: to help raise funds and surprise the young boy with an invite to be a captain at next Sunday's race.
Corey's an amazing guy. We're so lucky to have connected with him. He's definitely going to be in our lives forever. So we're really excited for Chattanooga, see what he can do.
Now the race is on to the finish line, but either way, Malachi has already been crowned survivor. In Lexington, Alyssa Williams, WKYT.
Money raised from the event will go toward Malachi's Special Disability Trust to help with any medical-related expenses he has in the future. Former Eastern Kentucky University football coach and Corbin native Roy Kidd will be laid to rest later today. Many of his former players, friends, and admirers gathered at the EKU Center for the Arts this weekend in Richmond. There was a steady stream of those paying their respects for more than 4 hours. It was an opportunity for those within the EKU family to reminisce and be thankful for having relationships with Coach Kidd. His funeral will be at 11 a.m. today at the center in Richmond. On a lighter note, we have a good news update to a story we've been following for the past week. Last Wednesday, rescuers took in 73 dogs from a home in Estill County. Saturday, the Estill County Animal Shelter said all dogs found in the hoarding situation are safe with various rescues. That is great news. They are saying they say they are receiving medical care they need, and officials want to say thank you to everyone who has donated and reached out to help. Letcher County Fire and Rescue is getting ready for Phase 2 of their 3-phase building project. Phase 1, which was focused on the exterior of a building that was completed last Friday. Phase 2 focuses on the interior of the building. Executive Director Sean Gilley says now that they have moved on to Phase 2, he is hoping to bring in community involvement.
But because we want that community aspect back, we chose to do it in phases. So in Phase 2, we can have that community help. We can have that community touch to it.
Phase 2 will officially begin following a public meeting on September 29th. For all the information regarding the building project, check out this story on WYMT.com. On Saturday, nearly 70 Kentucky veterans made the trip to Washington, D.C. to visit the nation's capital. The group included, get this, a 96-year-old World War II veteran from Floyd County. How amazing is that? 2 women vets who were also inducted into the Women's Memorial, 8 Korean War vets, and the rest served in Vietnam. At each stop, they were greeted with supporters and other military personnel. Some tell us it was a real treat to be around other vets and active servicemen and women.
Always good to see you. Really good. Except once a Marine, you're always a Marine. You're just not on active duty.
That's true.
Like me, 92, I'm on leave.
They're just waiting for you to come back.
Right, I'm waiting to go again. I'm ready to go again.
Listen, he's ready. Sign him back up. The flight was made possible through the support of Kentucky's Touchstone Energy Cooperatives. The next honor flight is set to be on October 7th. All right, I want to tell you one more time here at 6:40 about that dense fog advisory that goes through 9 o'clock there this morning for most of the region. It was expanded during the newscast a little earlier, so everybody but Rowan and Lawrence counties in eastern Kentucky now included in that. So again, just kind of keep an eye out for that. Take it easy. Pine Mountain, US 119, not too much up in the mountains, but you can see there on the view looking down the mountain there of the fog in the valleys. 56 up there this morning, and temperatures still in the 50s. They're hanging on tight there. Irvin and Williamsburg are coldest at 50. London and Clintwood there at 51 now, 52. Jonesville, Somerset, and in Moorhead this morning. Everybody else above that. And again, the outdoor forecast is going to feature some warmer air this afternoon, but still cooler than average, right around 74 this afternoon, thanks to a passing cold front. The sunshine will be out later after some fog this morning. Time is coming up on 6:41. Thank you so much for joining us. Still to come on Mountain News this morning. As we continue to raise awareness during Suicide Prevention Month this September, we take a closer look at one man's story.